Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm back with another video. It is currently Valentine's Day, so hope everyone had a good Valentine's Day. It's probably past by the time you see this, so hopefully a girl took you out, you took your girl out. I don't know what you're doing, but I hope you had a good day. For this video, I wanted to go over a couple things. The first thing was, yesterday was a Rising Stars game. It was pretty disappointing, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think there was 4 teams. There was a G League team. There was a team where Austin Rivers was the coach, Melo was the coach, and Vince Carter and T-Mac were coaches. I don't know. But it was just not a good game. It felt like players were kind of half-assing it, and they played up to 40. There wasn't a time limit. And when it was like close to the end of the game, they locked in for like 2 seconds. It was so obvious that the blue team was the best. Stephon Castle was just like playing with everyone. Same with Dylan Harper. It was just, Reggie Miller was trying his best to make this sound like a good game. He's like, oh, they needed that shot. They needed this shot. No, it was not a good game. So I'm hoping when I'm done recording this and I go watch whatever it is today, I think it's a 3-point shootout, dunk contest. And then tomorrow will be the actual All-Star game, which I'm excited for. Luka is coming back. So, yeah. But to get into the main topic, I wanted to talk about the top hidden gems, diamonds in the rough. I don't know what you want to call them. I didn't want to say hidden gems, diamonds in the rough. These players that have performed who weren't supposed to be doing this. And before I even start this segment, I got a friend named Isaiah. He's not going to like this because a lot of these stats, a lot of these players are advanced analytics or just things that are you got to calculate. But the way I found these players were just some of my favorites that I watch. By the way, I got a mic. The quality should be a little bit better. I'm still using my phone, but hopefully you can hear the quality. So let me know what you guys think. But anyways, back to what I was saying. These are some analytics driven stats. But the way I chose these players were just the players I like to watch. So it's not like I just knew these dudes had these advanced analytics that held up. These were guys that were passing the eye test, and I said, okay, let me research and see who I want to add to this list. I have some honorable mentions here. These guys either didn't make the list because they weren't good enough, their stats were not good enough, or they were just too popular. So those players are Adem Bona, Bryce Sensabaugh, Caleb Love, Dominic Barlow, Modest Buzelis, Naquan Tomlin, and Brandon Williams. These guys, they're good guys, don't get me wrong, but Modest Buzelis, he's just too good. Everyone knows him. He was in the Rising Stars last night. Bryce Sensabaugh just had 43 recently, so I feel like everyone knows him. Adem Bona, Caleb Love, Dominic Barlow, Naquan Tomlin, and Brandon Williams, they just didn't have the stats. I was surprised by Brandon Williams. His stats were just bad. Same with Caleb Love, but when I'm watching them, they look good. So I was surprised to see that. But a couple of dudes off the top of my head that I didn't add to honorable mentions, but I think should be there. Isaiah Collier. That guy he's like a starting point guard. He's legit. He's taken step backs. I mean, the Jazz, I think they just got fined for tanking. So I don't know. I just felt like I didn't need to include him here. 1, he's too good, and 2, it's the Jazz. But a lot of these players are off bad teams, so let's get into it. My first player, or players, it's actually 2, was Moussa Diabate and Ryan Kalkbrenner. I didn't want to put Kalkbrenner by himself because he's a rookie. It seems like it's not fair to say a rookie is a hidden gem. He's a rookie. Like, that's what he does. But So this video, I'm going to be looking at these notes a lot because I wrote a lot of these stats that I'm not going to remember. Moussa Diabate is averaging 8.2 points, about 9 rebounds, about 4 of those being offensive rebounds, a block, and he's only playing 25 minutes per game, which is really impressive. He's 5th in offensive rebounding percentage. His rim frequency is of 47%, and what that means is, see, Isaiah's going to hate this. He's going to hate hearing these percentages. What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. His rim frequency is of 47%, meaning when he's in the game and you're shooting at the rim, he's defending it 47% of the time, which puts him in the 95th percentile. Just real quick, if you don't know what that means, it's like imagine like a little like a bell graph. He's all the way in the 95th percentile. He's just about the best. You don't get much better than that. It's 5%. Probably a Rudy Gobert, maybe a Ryan Kalkbrenner. But yeah, he's defending at the rim. He's grabbing offensive rebounds, and he's kind of a hype guy. It said 8.2 points, but he's catching the lobs. He's blocking shots. He's just a hype guy. So I'm really in love with his game. And when I looked at his game logs, it seems like more recently he's been getting more minutes. So I think in the second half, where we're seeing them try to push to make the playoffs, which I hope the Hornets can make the playoffs, because they've been so hot. They've but they've been so hot between LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Musa, Kalkbrenner, Khan. How could I forget Khan? I'm a big Khan fan. But yeah, I hope he gets some more minutes in the second half. And his little buddy, Kalkbrenner, they didn't have that many minutes together. I was checking their on-off numbers, but they had like maybe 8 minutes together. Why would you play them together? It makes no sense. But Kalkbrenner, I think his stats are more impressive than Diabate. I just didn't like putting a rookie on here. It seemed a little unfair. But he's averaging 8 points as well, 6 rebounds. He's averaging a block and a half, so he's blocking shots. And the thing that I like the most that I've noticed when I watch Kalkbrenner is he's shooting 76% from the field, and his true shooting is 77%. So he's the 100th percentile. There's no one better at putting the ball in the basket at an efficient rate better than Kalkbrenner. A rookie who's 24 years old. Both these dudes are 24, by the way, both on the Hornets. So, yeah, I've been happy with this game. He's super efficient. He's not trying to get plays. He's not trying to make plays, but when you get it to him in the post or you throw him a lob, he's putting the ball in the basket. He's 8.4% in block percentage. What that means is when he's on the floor, he's blocking 8.4% of shots that are going up, which I think is insane. And he's the 99th percentile, so he's probably just being beat by Rudy Gobert or something. I don't know who. And his rim frequency was 47%, the same as Musa Diabate. And what I thought was really impressive about this is, obviously you're not playing these guys together, you're staggering their minutes, but two dudes with that type of defense is like, it's just, you're not scoring at the rim. And what I tried to do, I wasn't able to do it. What I tried to do was see if there was any possessions where Amen Thompson came to mind, because Amen Thompson is not shooting anything except at the basket. I should have checked Stephon Castle. But Amen Thompson, I was hoping to see between these two guys that Amen Thompson was not scoring at the rim. But that was not the case. Honestly, Musa was getting cooked. It was not, going his way. But I think the point still stands. When you stagger these guys' minutes, an inside team like the Rockets who's trying to offensive rebound, who's trying to just take it to the paint, you're going to have trouble with these guys. And I'm not sure. I didn't check their fouls. I don't think Kalkbrenner fouls a lot. Musa might, because he's a little bit more like erratic. I'm not sure if Kalkbrenner fouls. So between these two guys, I'm just loving their defense. And honestly, I had to look for guards to add to this, because I think I just like a good defensive center who's he doesn't impact the game with points. Maybe he's getting you some dunks, he's getting you some blocks and some offensive rebounds. So those were those two. Moving on, I have Max Christie from the Dallas Mavericks. Yes. So he's 23 years old. His splits are 13 points per game. He's shooting 43% from the three, 3.4 rebounds, 2.3 assists per game. He doesn't really put the ball on the floor, but he can. I know he can. And I'm sorry, Isaiah, this is a shot at Isaiah again. He's a Lakers fan. They got rid of him. Obviously, it was, you do the trade if you're the Lakers. You do the trade. But it's like, guys, we just give up these gems, bro. Between Zubac becoming All-NBA, Brandon Ingram on the Raptors. I won't give you Lonzo because his knees, he got someone else's knee. Shout out to Lonzo, but he didn't pan out like we thought he would. The Lakers have a tendency to just give up talent. And it's just, I would be so frustrated as a Lakers fan. I will say, before I get into this, Dalton Knecht needs to go, because I can see Dalton Knecht being the same as Max Christie, where he's giving you minutes. He's shooting the ball. He's not going to defend, but he'll shoot the ball. And he's just withering away. You see him play, he looks scared. Because, LeBron's telling you, get in the corner. Luka's drilling out for 23 seconds and giving you a grenade. You don't have time to prove yourself. Get rid of Dalton Connect, Rob Pelinka, LeBron James, Luka. Get rid of him. Get him somewhere where he could play, because like I'm about to say about this guy, when he left, he jumped up. So he's giving you 13 points per game off 43%, and his shooting quality is a 71. And what that means is they kind of quantify your ability to shoot. I'm not exactly sure how that's done. Maybe it's your shot quality, your shot diet, how open you are, contested, off the dribble. I'm not sure. But he has a 71, which is the 90th percentile, which I think is just really cool for a guy who's 23 and just moved and given a role. Like, yeah, the Mavericks suck. But when I'm watching, I want to see Cooper Flagg and Max Christie. I don't know. I don't like seeing Max Christie miss. When I see him miss, it makes me feel bad. The last thing is the team on his on-off numbers is shooting 6% higher from the three when he's on the court. That's a notable amount for a guy who's 23, who's just being thrown in the game. I'd like to see his putting it on the floor. I want to see him improve putting the ball on the floor. But overall, I'm happy with his performances, and I hope he can get a role on a winning team. He seems like the type of player who could play for a really long time. Same with Diabate and Kalkbrenner. But yeah, that's all I had for Max Christie. Moving on. Okay, moving on. Another big. I'm sorry, I couldn't find that many guards. I think it's hard to find a guard that's a diamond in the rough, because you know who your guards are. Your Cade Cunninghams, your Jalen Brunsons. I guess Jalen Brunson could be a diamond in the rough. Move from the Mavericks. That's another team who just fucks everything up. It's the Mavericks. But this is another center. I couldn't find that many guards. Is Neemias Queta. I didn't want to put him on here because the Celtics are rolling. Everyone knows Neemias Queta is a big piece of that. But I just think if you look at how he's been playing before this, you just had to put him on here. I think he really earned his spot here. And his stats were actually insane. So he's giving you 10 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game. 3 of those are offensive rebounds. He's giving you about a block and a half. What was crazy to me was his on and off for defensive rating. So when he's on the court, you have 109 defensive rating. And when he's off, it's 117. 117. 117 isn't bad, but that's a minus 7.7 net. So when this guy's on the court, your defense is just better. And like I was saying, I think it's those high energy guys. They're moving around, they're diving. He's just doing whatever he can. You're not going to score at the rim on this guy. And if you are, it's not going to be easy. You really got to be elite. So his rim defense was also a 91 percentile. So this is one of those guys that's protecting the rim. And I thought he was undersized, but he's 6'11". So he's not undersized. Another reason, I guess I already said this, but they're 35 and 19. It just seemed kind of messed up to add a player who's winning that much. So I'll keep that one quick and move on. This one is my favorite. I think this is my favorite player who stepped onto the scene and just started going crazy. Dylan Cardwell from the Sacramento Kings. He has been... The Sacramento Kings suck. Don't get me wrong. I barely want to watch them. I might look at the condensed version, just the highlights. I don't really want to watch the Kings, but I do it. I sit through it. Just off the top of my head, that Cavs game, I think it was the game where James Harden had just been traded. Dylan Cardwell was everywhere, bro. He was everywhere. I think he had a +7 and they lost. So he's just an energy guy. He averages 5.4 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks. I should have noted how many minutes he plays. I'm not sure. I doubt it's that many. My notes should say hype and defense. He's going to get the rebound. He's going to catch the lob. He's going to dunk it. He's going to hang on the rim. He's going to be crazy. You got to call a timeout. He's killing all type of momentum your team has. And I just love that. To like put this in perspective, because his averages aren't very good. I think the Kings just aren't playing people anymore. That's why he's playing. The Kings maybe trying to get this top pick. I don't know if they own it. I don't know. But his last 5 games are very impressive to me. 11.4 rebounds, 8.6 points, and 4.8, about 5 offensive rebounds a game. That is insane for a dude who comes out of nowhere and gets to play. He's leaving it all out on the court, and I don't know, man. He needs to go somewhere. But anyways, I was saying I want him to go to like a Knicks or a Detroit team. The Knicks were trying to get that toughness. They traded for Jose Alvarado, which I think is a good move. He's going to defend. But a guy like Dylan Cardwell, I think, would make the difference, especially in those cat off minutes, because at the big position, you do have Mitchell Robinson, so he might be a little bit redundant. I'm not sure. Now I think about it, I don't know. But the Pistons is a good team. You already have Beef Stew, body slamming dudes like he did. I think it was against the Hornets, actually. Musa got suspended. But a guy like Dylan Cardwell, I could see. I don't know if you're playing him in the playoffs, but he's giving you some minutes where he's getting rebounds, he's getting blocks, and he's turning it up. So that's enough about him. My last player of the day is a guard. So hopefully someone is happy about this. I don't know who. It's Dennis Jenkins from the Detroit Pistons. I don't remember what the game was. He comes in, drops 24, hits a corner game winner. Hey, he put everyone on notice. And his stats don't really show it. He averages 8 points per game, 3 assists, about 2 rebounds, but he's only playing 17 minutes. I've never been a fan of per 36, but this guy was just so good. I'm like, let me check his per 36, and it didn't disappoint. He's averaging 17 points, 2 steals, and 7 assists. That is a starting quality point guard. I don't know if he could keep this up, but this season he's a starting quality point guard, I think. And what I wanted to do is I want to check his on and off with Cade, because we know Cade was off, and Dennis took his place. And I think Chaz Lanier or something. I think he's a rookie. I saw a little bit of him when he played with Dennis Jenkins, but I don't recall. But his on-off numbers, their offensive rating was a 116 without Cade, and a 107 defensive rating, which I don't know if we want to count the defensive rating for anything because you're the Pistons. I think they're already second in defense behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm not sure it means that much when you got Beef Stew, all these guys. But what surprised me was they had a net of plus 10, meaning when Dennis Jenkins is on the floor and Cade Cunningham isn't, you're still up 10 points. And I'm not one of those guys who's trying to say, hey, the team is better without Cade. Let's play without Cade. Let's put Dennis Jenkins out of starting point guard spot. No, cool. But with Cade, they had a 121 offensive rating with a 111 defensive rating. I kind of didn't want to add him as well because you're the Pistons. What are you, first in the East? You're a good team. But I think regardless of being a good team, having a plus 10 net rating when it's a 24-year-old, is he a rookie? He came out of nowhere. I don't know. I think that's just something that a lot of players can't do. Maybe it's a coaching staff, but this guy really wants it. And that's one thing I'll say about every guy on this list. Dylan Cardwell, Neemias Queta, Dennis Jenkins, who was it? Max Christie and Kalkbrenner and Diabate. All those guys just go out there and play. And I think that's what a lot of these players need to do. They're making plays with the ball. They're passionate. They're trying to get hype. They need you to call a timeout. He's hitting corner threes. Cardwell is dunking on you. It's just great basketball. But the last thing I wanted to say was, I'm going to give you a second. What do all of these players have in common? Let me give you a second. Okay. I gave you a second. Could have paused. I don't know. All of these dudes are either undrafted or in the second round. And I bet you could say the same about some of these other guys, like Adem Bona, Caleb Love, Dominic Barlow, obviously not Buzelis, but Naquan Tomlin, Brandon Williams. I don't know where Naquan Tomlin was even, where he came from. He just showed up one game. Also was going to put Jalen Tyson, but he's just too good. I think he's a sophomore. I don't know. But all these players are either undrafted or second round picks, which was so surprising. And it's like, I feel like these days in the NBA, you get such like rotational core pieces the second round, or you don't have to draft them at all. Off the top of my head, I don't know where Christian Brown was drafted. Was he undrafted? I don't know. But he's a good piece too that wasn't probably picked up in that first round. So this season we got Dennis Jenkins undrafted, Dylan Cardwell undrafted, Neemias Queta second round 39th pick, Max Christie 35th pick, Diabate 43rd. Also, he was a Clipper. This is a rant. I'm a Clippers fan. If you don't know, if you're watching this, you know I'm a Clippers fan. If you made it this far, thank you, by the way. We had what was this guy, Musa Diabate. And he was raw. I'm not going to get you wrong. No, don't get me wrong. He's raw. He still is raw. He doesn't move his feet that quickly. He's like a little bit erratic, but he's giving you energy. He's getting blocks and he's getting dunks. He was good, and I knew he was good. Let's keep him. Let's keep him. No, we traded him. I don't know what we got. I don't know if he walked. But Diabate, I'm really proud of these guys, him and Kalkbrenner especially, because, hey, they are putting the Hornets on the map. But all these guys are second-round picks or undrafted. It's certain teams that don't take a chance. Like, I'm sorry, Isaiah, if you meant this for the Lakers, bro. We need to start taking chances, bro. You're not always going to hit at the top. A lot of these teams don't take chances. Off the top of my head, I don't know where Champagny was drafted. Keldon Johnson, I'm not sure either. But there's a lot of guys who are scoring, having rotational minutes without being a top pick. Obviously, we have ours like Jokic, Isaiah Thomas, those type of guys who were like at the end of the draft. But I'm really happy seeing these guys undrafted or just second round picks. My friend, kind of my cousin, plays basketball. I like seeing this because he, you don't have to be the first round pick, the top 5 pick. You can make it doing it your own way. A lot of these guys will go to community college, you're going D3. I don't know. Seeing these guys play, come from their unorthodox journeys and have these rotational minutes, it's like kind of inspirational. Especially, I'm glazing. Dylan Cardwell. I love that guy. Oh, by the way, Dylan Cardwell was born the day before me. And Dennis Jenkins and I have the same birthday. It used to be me, Rudy Gay, and Lil Pump had the same birthday. But now I can tell people Dennis Jenkins has the same birthday. And Dylan Cardwell, I'm going to tell people we have the same birthday. No one's going to check. No one's going to check. Maybe next season when you get a contract. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video just talking about some basketball. I got a new setup. I got this mic. When I recorded my first video, it was portrait. And I was using the front camera. I don't know. I didn't mean to post that. I did mean to post it, but like I wasn't planning on it. So I got this little Walmart mic. I'm using my back camera. I'm gonna get a ring light. I think this camera's fine. You let me know. Let me know if the audio's fine. I'll obviously listen to it back. But yeah, I'm planning to just kind of come up with some topics. And while we're here, there's one thing I want to talk about. I was talking about this with my roommate. We were watching the Rising Stars last night. I've noticed this more. If you can't tell, I'm a black man. But when I'm watching the game, I think it was the Spurs. It was the Spurs and the Mavericks, I think. And Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper had been guarding each other. And the announcer says rookie on rookie crime. He's like, oh, that's some rookie on rookie crime. And I'm like, no, it doesn't sit right with me. That doesn't sit right with me. So I called up my girlfriend last night. Actually, shout out to my girlfriend. Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm like, hey, when you think of, I said blank on blank crime, what do you think? She's black as well. She says black on black. I'm like, okay, thank you. Because that's weird. Who says rookie on rookie crime? Or like, I don't remember who was in the game last night, but they were on the same team. And he says, oh, this is spur on spur crime or something. I'm like, it doesn't sit right with me. It's always a white dude saying it. Always a white dude. I don't know if I'm making this political. I got no subs, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to get demonetized. That was weird. And the last thing, I'm rambling here, but it's my video. I was watching this. I watched Numbers on the Board, and the podcast, they were saying what was their pet peeve. This was a couple months ago. Pet peeves of the NBA. I think Pierre was talking about you don't close out to an open shooter, which I agree. Khan hit like 5 the other night. I'm like, why is he still catching the ball? I don't remember what everyone else said. But I always have this thought. My roommate knows it. If you know me, you know I'm going to keep telling you the same thing because I got no one to tell about basketball. I just be telling random stuff to random people about basketball. But what really irks me, and I saw it in the Rising Stars game last night, why are we saving air balls and throwing it in and doing 4-on-5 basketball? Yannick, Conan Niederhauser, a Clipper, shout out the Clips, was trying to get the ball. Someone from the Rising Stars game tries to save it, throws it over his shoulder, just the fucking all the way across the court. The other team goes 4-on-5 and scores. And Yannick is looking at the dude like, really? What are you doing? And I was like, thank you. No one ever talks about this. We are grown men. Like, I'm watching grown men play. And you're throwing the ball and doing a 4-on-5. I'm not trying to say that they're not good. I'm not trying to disrespect them. But that's like a middle school You learn not to do that. Middle school or high school, you don't throw it in when you're not. If you're on offense, don't do that. You know, I guess if you're on defense, you can because, you know, you're still defending. They're not going to run to the other side of the court. But on offense, what are we doing, guys? Stop doing that. You know, that's enough for this video. I'm over here just rambling now. If you guys have any thoughts, leave them in the comments because I don't know. I like talking about basketball. Any ideas? I might do some Pirtle videos. I do the Pirtle every day. I might just do a video doing some random Pirtles or something. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Have a good day. Hope you have a good Valentine's Day. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace, guys.